Let's try that again. Here we go again. Welcome along to the live stream, both on YouTube and X this afternoon, live from Craven Cottage. Hopefully you can hear me through this microphone, wherever it is that's there. Welcome along to Craven Cottage for what is a massive game between Fulham and Manchester United. What is the time? 5 minutes to 4, which means 35 minutes until kickoff in this big game. Now, let's talk about this Fulham team. What's going on? Is it a change of system? Is it 4-2-3-1 as we usually see? Or 4-3-3, however you want to perceive it? Or is it, as Palace draw with Nottingham Forest 1-1, interesting, is it a 3-4-2-1 to match Manchester United 3-4-2-1? Bernd Leno in goal. This is how I believe it's going to look. Bernd Leno in goal, 3 centre-backs, Tete, Anderson and Bassi. Wing-backs of Castagna on the right and Sessegnon on the left. Left wing-back. 2 in midfield in Berger and Lukic. 2 behind the striker, Rodrigo Muniz, which will be Alex Iwobi and Joshua King, so 2 10s. It could also be Sessegnon right wing, with Iwobi left wing, with Castagna left back, and Tete right back, with the 2 centre backs, Bassi or Anderson Bassi, as usual. So it's up for interpretation. I believe we're going to match Man United to try and go man for man, and I think that actually is a good strategy. So let me know your thoughts. And let's have a look at Man United's team. Bayindir in goal, the 3 centre-backs, because they go in number order to make things difficult. De Ligt, Yoro, Luke Shaw. Wing-backs of, I believe, Dorgu and Amad Diallo, very dangerous player, Amad Diallo. 2 in midfield in Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. And then Mbuemo, Mount, both behind Mateus Cunha, who of course scored, I think, 2 goals here last season for Wolverhampton Wanderers when they played Fulham in a 4-1 win for Wolves here at Craven Cottage. That's how I believe it's going to be. Let's have a look at the bench for Fulham. Benjamin Lecomte, Harrison Reed, Raul Jimenez, Harry Wilson, Tom Kearney, Adama Traore, Jorge Cuenca, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Anthony Robinson. Fantastic to see as it finishes at Everton 2-0 to Everton over Brighton. So Brighton got off to a really poor start to the season after being just seconds away from getting 3 points against Fulham. But Rodrigo Muniz coming up in the last minute of the game to score a very important goal and a very important equaliser for him and for Fulham. On the bench for Manchester United, Andre Onana, Diego Dalot, Harry Maguire, Joshua Zirkzee, Manuel Ugarte, Aidan Heaven, Benjamin Sesko, Tyler Fredrickson, and Kobe Mainu. So it's a good team. It's got a decent bench. It's got some good options to bring off the bench. Dalot, who can play obviously wing back. Maguire can come on the centre back. Zirkzee, another striker option. Ugarte, another midfield option. Mainu as well. And of course, Sesko, their new signing, who has featured a tiny bit when he came off the bench against Arsenal last week in this exact time of fixture last week. The referee, Christopher Kavanagh. His assistants, Dan Cook and Neil Davis. Robert Jones on 4th official, Darren England on VAR. Will we have a big controversial moment in this game today? We'll see. It's Man United. They're away from home. The last 3 times Man United have come here in the Premier League, they have snatched points from Fulham. But yeah, Pereira's not here. He's not in the squad. I reckon he's off to see the Wizard. And the Wizard being, he's off to another club. Did not train in the week. Wasn't in the training videos. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think that Pereira will leave. And I think that is okay in terms of the 10 position, because it will be Smith-Rowe and King rotating, which is fine by me. I think Pereira, it was very evident last week. It was very evident last week. It was very evident last week that that Wilson's deliveries into the box were way better than Pereira's, who had a really poor friendly against Frankfurt when it came to set piece delivery. So I think Pereira is off. And what was I talking about before that? Fulham. So I can't even remember what I was saying before the Pereira. This comment from Mouth Talk, I don't know where it's come from. the person who put it on there should not have. It didn't come from me. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, essentially Pereira is probably going to leave, and that's indicating the fact he's not in the squad today. And I think that's okay. I can live with that. And it's not even one of them ones where it's like, well, we need to replace Pereira. I just don't think we do. I think King and Smith Rowe are fine, unless obviously touch words, which is obviously the Craven Cottage seats here in the Johnny Haynes, unless one of them gets injured, which obviously hopefully that doesn't happen. Fulham need to bring in probably 2 wide players, 1 midfielder and 1 striker before the window closes, and that is after the Chelsea game next week. We've got Bristol City in the Cup in midweek. So it's going to be a big week for Fulham in terms of on the pitch and off the pitch. Lots of demand. And look, Fulham are on 1 point. And they've got this game coming up today. And if they were to get 3 points from this, we're in a good spot. If we don't get 3 points from this and we draw, I'm happy with a draw. I would take a point against United, who are obviously a very, very decent side. You don't know what you're going to get from them, of course. And a defeat... I think a defeat's going to turn the fan base potty. I think it's going to be a toxic reaction, maybe on Twitter, maybe not so much in Craven Cottage. It depends how the game goes. If Fulham lose by 3-0 and have been completely humiliated and compounded to defeat, it's going to be a bad reaction. If Fulham win the game, I think everyone's going to be like, okay, so that papers over the cracks of what we need. So yeah, not a huge preview today from myself. I want to do these little videos just as and when, not every single week. I didn't do one at Brighton last week, and I had a bit more time today, so I thought I'd do it today. And I'll do it across YouTube and X as well. So subscribe to the YouTube channel for plenty more of this sort of content. I'll probably do a match reaction tomorrow for Patreon and for YouTube as well. Here's Chris Kavanagh on the pitch. Interesting. No boos from the Fulham fans as of yet. Lots of people down the front taking pictures of the United players warming up. Listen, fair play. This is what happens when you play Man United at Craven Cottage. There's a lot of people wanting to take pictures of the Man United players. Hopefully nobody here around me when Man United, or if Man United, score, hopefully nobody gets up and starts making a song and dance about it, because that will fry my head. And it seems to be an occurrence. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. The last 3 times Man United have been here, they have snatched points away from Fulham. Lisandro Martinez deflected effort on that Sunday night game, 7 o'clock. Last season, the season before that, Bruno Fernandes, last minute of the game. I was up in the Hammersmith end for that one. Heartbreak, 1-0 defeat for Fulham. And the season before that, pre-World Cup in Qatar, it was Alejandro Garnacho, who's not involved today. I think he's going to probably leave the club before the end of the window. Alejandro Garnacho going through and scoring after Dan James had levelled the game for Fulham after, I believe, was it Christian Eriksen gave Man United the lead down at the Hammersmith end early on in the game. We are due a win against Man United at home. We beat them last year in the FA Cup. We beat them the season before in the league, both at Old Trafford. Last season, we played them very early on, the first game of the season, 1-0 defeat at Old Trafford, thanks to that man who's just stood right in front of me there, Joshua Zirkzee, with the goal. But yeah, I will wonder, is it going to be a 4? Is it going to be a 3? We'll basically know as soon as we kick off. But looking forward to this immensely. I do feel like Fulham could get something today. I really do. And look, the good thing about this Fulham team is there are some really good options to come off the bench. Harry Wilson off the bench, we know what threat he can pose off the bench. Jimenez not amazing off the bench in terms of recent history for Fulham, but it's imperative that Rodrigo starts and keeps him happy. So Tom Kenny can obviously come on and control the game. Adama Traore for pace and power and to threaten that Manchester United defence. Here come the subs as Anthony Robinson jogs out with Harry Wilson and Tom Kearney. Emil Smith Rowe, Raul Jimenez also there as well. Good to see. Good to see. Of course, Robinson can come on as well if Sessegnon's blowing and needs a little bit of rest. Is it too early for Robinson? Well, the fact he's on the bench means that he could feature, and if Sessegnon goes down injured, he's going to have to come on unless we shift things about. Cuenca, obviously, Smith Rowe, who came off the bench against Brighton and made the corner happen, which led to the goal. So I'm feeling fairly encouraged. I'm going to go with Fulham 1, Manchester United 1, a draw for Fulham on their first home game of the season, 2 points on the board from 2 games. I think I'd pretty much take that going into the Chelsea game as well, who hit West Ham for 5 on Friday night. Thank you so much for watching. Come on, Fulham. Enjoy the game. Be sensible. And let's hope we have 3 points at the end of the afternoon. Take care, guys. And come on, Fulham.